A teacher asked little Johnny if he knows his 1 to 10. Well, yes, of course. My pop taught me. Even more than 10 inches. What comes after 3? 4, answers the boy. What comes after 6? 7. Very good, says the teacher. Your Dad did a good job. Now, so what comes after, let's say 10? A jack. Little Pete came home from the playground with a bloody nose, black eye, and torn clothing. It was obvious he'd been in a bad fight and lost. While his father was patching him up, he asked his son what happened. Well, Dad, said Pete, I challenged Larry to a duel. And I gave him his choice of weapons. Uh-huh, said the father. That seems fair. I know, but I never thought he'd choose his sister. While a soldier was deployed overseas, he received a breakup text from his girlfriend. In the message, she admitted that she had been with 2 other guys while he was away and wanted to end the relationship. To add insult to injury, she also asked him to delete the new photo she had sent him. Not one to let the situation get the best of him, the soldier decided to have a little fun with it. He went around to his fellow soldiers and asked them for all the photos they had of exes, flings, or just random women they had on their phones. After collecting more than 25 photos, he texted them all to his ex, along with hers, and sent this message. I'll delete your photo, like you asked, but I can't remember which one it is. Could you let me know which one's you so I can take care of it? A new miracle doctor was in town. He could cure anything and anybody, and everyone was amazed. Everyone except for Mr. Smith, the town's grouch. So Mr. Smith went to this miracle doctor to prove that he wasn't anybody special. So he goes and tells the doctor, Hey doc, I have lost my sense of taste. I can't taste nothing, so what are you going to do? The doctor scratches his head and mumbles to himself a little, then tells Mr. Smith, What you need is jar number 43. Jar number 43? Mr. Smith wonders. So the doctor brings the jar and tells Mr. Smith to taste it. He tastes it and immediately spits it out. This is gross, he yells. I just restored your sense of taste. Mr. Smith, says the doctor. So Mr. Smith goes home, very mad. 1 month later, Mr. Smith goes back to the doctor, along with a new problem. Doc, he starts. I can't remember. Thinking he got the doctor scratches his head and mumbles to himself a little and tells Mr. Smith, What you need is jar number 43. Before the doctor finished his sentence, Mr. Smith fled the office. A man whose wife was pregnant couldn't bear to be in the delivery room at the time of the birth, so he thought he'd ring up later to see if it had come yet. He rang up, and the nurse said, It's a girl, but there's another one on the way. He rang again later, and the nurse said, It's another girl, but there's another coming. He rang once more, and the nurse said, It's a boy, but there's another coming. He couldn't stand it anymore, so he went to the pub and got drunk. An hour later, he was really nervous. He was dialing the hospital, hands shaking, and accidentally dialed the sports line. He asked, How many did we get, mate? The person said, 198 all out. And the last one was a duck. A blonde had just been in a terrible car accident. Somehow, she climbed out of the wreck without a single scratch and was calmly applying fresh lipstick when the state trooper pulled up. The officer stared at the crumpled mess of metal and said, Ma'am, your car looks like it got flattened by an elephant. Are you sure you're all right? The blonde smiled and replied, Oh, I'm perfectly fine, officer. Still puzzled, the trooper asked, So, what exactly happened here? The blonde explained, Well, officer, it was the weirdest thing. I was just driving along when out of nowhere, this tree jumped right in front of me. So I swerved to miss it, but another tree popped up on the other side. I swerved again, and there was another tree. Then another. and another. The officer paused for a moment, then said, "Ma'am, there isn't a single tree on this road for at least 30 miles. That was your air freshener swinging back and forth." Those same two older married couples were having dinner together one night. After eating, Sam and Ted went into the den while the ladies chatted and cleaned up the dishes. Ted remarked that it was a fine home-cooked meal. Sam mentioned they had recently discovered a new home-style restaurant in town that was also very good, and he highly recommended it. "What's the name of it?" asked Ted. Sam thought, and scratched his head and finally said, "Say, what's the name of that flower? You know, the one that's red, and we always buy it for our wives on special occasions." "You mean a rose?" said Ted. Yeah, that's it," said Sam. He turned toward the kitchen and yelled, "Hey, Rose, what's the name of that place we ate at last week?" A blonde, a brunette, and a redhead team were sent out to install telephone poles for the telephone company. After the first day, the brunette team had installed 30 poles. The redhead team had installed 37 poles, and the blonde team had installed 7. The contractor was outraged with the blonde team and demanded to know why they had done so few. "Hey, we saw what the other teams were doing. Theirs were still sticking out of the ground." An elderly woman arrives at the supermarket checkout line with bread, milk, peanut butter, and 21 cans of cat food. The cashier says, "Got a lot of cats at home?" smiling. The woman replies, "Cats? Oh no, dear, I'm allergic. These are for my husband. It's all he will eat." The cashier, shocked, says, "You feed him only cat food? He'll die." The woman snaps back, "I've been feeding him cat food for 50 years, and he's absolutely fine, thank you very much." Mind your own business. A week later, the same elderly woman approaches the same cashier with bread, milk, peanut butter, but no cat food. The cashier asks, "No cat food this week?" The woman replies, "No. My husband's dead." The cashier says, "I'm sorry, but I told you eating nothing but cat food would kill him." The woman, smirking, says, "For your information, it wasn't the cat food. He was licking his balls and fell off the roof." Clark Kent was lying in his deathbed with his wife, Lois Lane, beside him. After some time, Lois said, "Darling, I have to confess something. Years ago, I had an affair with Superman. It was only one night, but I've regretted it ever since. I hope you can forgive me." "You don't need to worry about that because," Clark said as he took off his glasses, "I am Superman. Even if you didn't know it was me, in my eyes you were always faithful." "Oh, thank God," said Lois. "I can't tell you what a weight that is off my chest." "Glad we cleared that up," whispered Clark. "That makes 2 of us," smiled Lois. "I guess this means you were Batman too."